Hello, I'm Oral, and welcome to Oral Gibbs Live. And with me, I have a St. Martin legend. That's right, a St. Martin legend, the man that won the 2023 Calypso competition in St. Martin again for many, many times now. Mighty Dow, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Good.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
It's been hard trying to catch up with you after that victory.
Well, I was off island.
Yeah.
I took some time off, rest.
So you're back and ready to go.
Yeah, gotta keep moving.
So you won 2023 now. This is what, your sixth win?
Well, yeah, this is like the fifth crown, and I have 4 road marches and groovy. So it's like 10 crowns now and inside the closet.
What was that groovy thing, maybe?
That was when we used to have the Soca Rumble.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
They had the Power, which is the fast song, and then the slower tempo. I had one that in, I think it's 2016.
So, any plans to retire? Or are you gonna just continue?
Well, I know. I think I can't retire now.
You can't retire.
No. Gotta keep pushing.
And there's still some guys ahead when it comes to Calypso wins, right? Like,
Of course, Bobo and Brad them boys up there 10-time win, 11-time
yeah.
win. Yeah.
Wow.
I think me and Fish about even. I'm not sure certain, but I think we'd be next in line. But for people who see me, they think that I've won many times already. Like, who are you going up for again? You don't need that, But I guess that's because I'm out there doing. You're busy, so they see you as like, give the other fellas a chance, But sometimes you have the urge to. But what prompted me to get involved this year was because we revamped the Junior Calypso. So I took that, by the heart, just say by the head, and I went with it. I told the Carnival Committee, give Dow's Musical Foundation a chance, and we would organize that. And I remember lecturing to the youngsters that about competition, and I go like, competing is good. You don't have to worry about winning, and because that's just somebody got to win, and and then one student said, "So teacher, you competing?" So from there they thought of me, somebody you preaching to the door to put right question, you competing? So I say, yeah. So I couldn't let them down, But that was a task. That took but I came out victorious, so it goes to show by way there's determination and consistency, you can't beat that. You will be successful.
I heard from a lot of people the turnout was incredible. A lot of people turn out.
Yeah, for the juniors. Yeah. It was overwhelming, man. It was like wow. But we expected a good crowd because we promoted well. We was pushing on Facebook, from step to step, working out. So people love to see that. It's how you start to the finishing line. So we appreciated that. Of course, there's a lot of room for improvement, but people didn't mind that. They said this was good because we also had the steel pan competition for the very first time. We had 10 groups competed, and in each of those groups had something like 25 to 30 players.
Wow.
So boy, that was a busy night.
That's incredible.
That was a busy night.
Baker Jr. worked with some of those Calypsonians.
Yes,
right?
Baker Jr. worked with some of them. Out of we had like 15 songs. Out of the 15 songs, I personally arranged like maybe 12 of them, and Baker also arranged maybe about 4 of them fully, something like that. But man, and then we had Wilson, Mr. Wilson. He helped us a lot too, and we have some talented people here. And then again, we must not underestimate that word together, working together, collaboration, uniting together, strong. And we were successful in doing it.
I had you on the other show before you did the show with the youngsters, and we spoke about you taking over the Junior Calypso.
Yes.
So you're going to continue now, seeing how it turn out?
Well, I would love to do it again, sure. That's on the table. I don't think the committee will have a problem with it during their time, but even not only just Carnival, we're looking at doing things during the year. So we have the St. Martin Day coming up. We have Christmas coming up. We want to be have these youngsters busy. I mean, they're already busy. Sometimes I take them at a hotel with me, keep them busy. I can rotate them. There are different functions in the community that they will be presented. Like we have Flag Day, for example. You know, they can perform there. You know, as I said, St. Martin Day, Christmas. So we want to keep them busy.
That's good, because I think what you're doing is leaving a legacy of the work you did to help young people. I know when you look at what you're doing in terms of these classes with the steel pan and all of that, I don't think anyone have done that on the scale that you're doing it. It's well organized. You know, you have a foundation. It's going well. It's incredible. I got to congratulate you on that.
Thanks. I mean, you know, and that says a lot when people say thank you. Sometimes that's all we need to continue. Yeah, it has been it's hefty. It's a lot of work, but I have to also, you know, give thanks to my foundation members and also those like little subcommittees that we will have and people who want to assist and volunteer.
Oh, okay.
You understand? And the teachers, of course, the teachers who will go there, and you have to keep them on the toes. And remember, I'm in it a long, long time, and you have to let them see the importance of what it is to be consistent. Some of them, you know, that maybe they don't see it now, but later on, we you know, when they reach this age, you know, we had so many years, and then they will know, oh, that we was talking about. But so far, you always have to keep pushing, especially the local folks. You know, you have to keep pushing them. But then again, too, you know, you push. You can only push people to a certain extent, and if they don't see it, they don't see it. You know, but it's going, it's happening still.
But you wouldn't say that it's in your DNA. Your father, your mother, brother, everybody plays steel pan.
Yeah, well, I mean, I grew up around it, so. And then you ask yourself, am I in it just because you know how to do it or because you love it? I actually love what I'm doing. You know, sometimes it gets overwhelming, and then, you know, you're tired, you're fatigued. But I think, too, once you get the right rest, and you know you have your team that can stand out there and go on and continue the work, everything can be okay, man.
I got to jump back to the song that you won this year's competition. Tell us about it.
Oh, my wife. Well, that was stir up a little controversy, and then so a little. Some people were, not me, I ain't that. And then you know the ladies, you know, they were attacking me. But at the end, you know, it's so funny because they would go like, yeah, but it makes sense though, you know. So basically, the song was just about, you know, I mean, okay, if we live in a world today where everybody free, like a free world, everybody going to do what they want to do. But they still have, I find I hypocritical when it comes to certain topics or certain issues. You tell me, well, if this person wants to be like that, it's okay for him or her to be like that. But when I do this, you tell me, no, I can't do it. I shouldn't do it. It's bad. It's this, you know. Because when I say more wife, people was actually thinking that a double meaning, you know, it's sex. Because when we say in the Caribbean, more wife, we talking sex, but it wasn't that. It was like, I'm saying like, hey, there's in this world, you know, there's people who's gay, there's people who's this. I said, but you telling me it's okay for them to be like that? I said, fine, let them be. But if I seen with an ex-woman or date an ex-girl, you want to beat up on men, you know, you want to beat up on us. So I said, no, man. So let me end the confusion. Let me marry more than one woman. Then, and even in the house, you know, while doing that, you know, of course, you know, the wife like, you gonna sing that? But then I put at the last that I remember I said, "Boy, I'm gonna shut everybody up here tonight." No, so after the song, on the very, very last of the song, I said, "No, they want me and my wife to cuss, but she write the first verse and the last chorus." Well, well, you know, the people like, wow, and she like, you know, but. It's a good run. It's okay. It was different, I guess. People gravitate on it. It was different, and it was a topic that people don't want to talk about. But I wasn't like really bashing nobody, but just making a statement like, okay, you say that good, all right. But if I do this, then you shouldn't be upset. Then you know, and they going back and forth.
You was up against some tough competition with that song from Fisher.
Yeah. But you know something, this year, because I was so busy with the juniors,
Yeah.
I was hardly paying attention to the other guys' songs. You know, I
Yeah.
think that's the best thing yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I like you said that, you know, because if people ask me like, what's Fish song? No, I heard him when he's singing, and even when he's singing that night, it's not that the song you go, it's just that I was not paying attention because I'm trying to concentrate on my part. And I'm sure he could say the same thing. Because after all, when we listen back and then we go and listen to something like, wow, that what he's saying? But I was so busy. And I think that helped me a lot. Like you don't pay it, because sometimes you get caught up.
Yeah.
But listen, like what he say. So then you want to go counteract that. So I think you just got to go with your game plan, stay focused, and everything would
I
fall in
think
place.
you all was on different ends of the spectrum. You had your song, and Fish song was more political and sort of love, St. Martin and everything else.
Yeah.
But hey, congratulations still, because only one person could win.
Yeah, no, we did. We had to do 2 songs. So the wife song was one. The first song I did was called "We Have Questions But We Don't Get Answers," and I think we have a tendency to of not releasing the song. You know, we waiting for it to the village. I think sometimes that could be, that's not good. We have to try our best to get the song out. Okay. That time people are really listening to you, so they're hearing the song for the very first time. I think I was very clarity, like, oh, the voice, I said, the older I get, the voice improved.
Yeah.
You know, my father reminds me about that. He said, boy, but you're getting better at this as you go on, you know? So, and then sometimes, you know, after 2, 3, 4 days, people really soak into your song. So that's a good, you should release that song before so they could get it into them, you know, but...
Yeah, a lot of people were speaking about it after you won about the song.
Yeah.
So, what else have you been doing lately? I knew you was away, came back. You're going to pick up where you left off with the foundation and the youngsters?
Of course. Right now we have the summer camp that's going to be in July. And I already getting calls because I had did a tour, so to speak, in the United States last year. I did Tallahassee, Kentucky, Chicago, or Indiana.
What kind of tour that was?
Like I did a workshop, a lot of steel pan workshops, right? And performance. And just last week, a couple of days ago, Ohio called a guy by a coffee shop that I performed. He said, hey, we having an anniversary. We really need 45 minutes out from you.
Yeah.
You know, let us know what you can do. So what I'm doing now, and then in Indiana, the place where I perform as well. So I'm trying to get all these promoters together. So listen, if you guys work out a good deal together and you get me up there, then everybody stay good. You see that together, there's, you know, instead of breaking one fella, like, and he like, yeah, because if I bring you up, you know, you're going to be dealing with them, you know. So I tell him, you know, work it out. So I want to do that. And there's also Africa. I owe Africa a trip. I'm doing a production. I started already.
This will be your first trip to Africa?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm doing a production, and then that's the...
Any idea what countries in Africa you're going to...
Ghana and...
That's where most of the Caribbean...
yes. Yeah. For sure. Ghana's one, that's one, and Nigeria.
Okay.
Also, I had plans to be in May. I had plans to be in Cameroon, but it didn't work out. I told them, listen, I said, I'm so pooped out from Carnival April. I said, I'll be doing injustice to you guys, how the way my body was feeling. Yeah. And, you know, I said...
It's not like when you were 20-something, right?
Yeah, well, it was a lot. I think I think I did it in so many words without unknown to myself. Because that task wasn't easy with the junior show. And then take on the senior Calypso show. Mm. So when you add all of that up, after that competition, I was just like weary, man. Like I need some time to breathe, you know? Yeah. So this time around, I want to pay a little bit more attention on Mighty Dow and see how far we will get. So that's my plans. But in the meantime, we also want to keep the school going, you know, tell people register for the camp as much. So we're going to be promoting that now until the end of the month.
All right. So, but you've done some shows in Europe in those places quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I did Holland, the Netherlands. I also did a workshop there. Performance like last November was my last performance in Holland. But now I'm thinking I'm going to taking it to the notch up at a bigger scale. You just everything is on the burner there right now, cooking. So it is not just the calypso. And then two, I have big plan. You're going to be hearing about it. I'm going to do a Mighty Dow close up. Mighty Dow. It's just everything to do with me, like how we do in here interview. But I'm going to have my orchestra there, my band. I'm going to be playing and singing. I mean, with some top musicians. Like there will be no like, let's start over again. It's like on the button. I think the people deserve that.
That's going to be St. Martin?
Yes, I think the people deserve that. It's going to be limited to a few. So it's not like we expect millions of people, maybe 250 people max for that. And that's going to be a televised program. Like we're going to really concentrate on putting that on YouTube and what have you not. You know, so that's the next thing. Yeah.
All right. In case you've just joined us on Oral Gibbs, my guest is the Mighty Dow Isidore York, and he won this year again in the competition. And just to remind you that you're either watching this on YouTube, Facebook, TV Carib, or you're listening to us on Hot 99.9 FM radio station right here in beautiful St. Martin. So when you look at these workshops that you're doing, right, for example, those that you did in America, what's your workshop like?
Well, it's about the the steel pan, getting in depth, like how it, you had to give them a little bit of history, but also teaching them skills, like how to better perfect the playing ability, and also teaching them songs. And for some folks who never played in their life, the very beginners class, and I tell them, I say, this is like dating a girl. Like you waiting for your first kiss, but you had 3 months dating this girl. I say, you guys was in here an hour to play a 2-minute song, and then they would laugh. They're like, we didn't look at it that way. And I say, yeah. And Holland was very good. That workshop ended up very nice because it was university students at that level, and they thought, well, boy, this workshop was so good. And I remember asking a professor who took part in that workshop, in that session. She said, well, Dow, we have to get ready for a class. I said, what class? She said, a teaching class. She teach teachers, something like that. I said, well, I have to be in that class. She said, no. I said, but why? As I'm a teacher, so I could. She said, this class, man, you have it down pat. She said, remember, I just took your class. You have it down pat. You know how to teach. You know how to get people to do things. And you had us playing within an hour. Like, we would never thought we would have been able to do this in this, just within the hour and a half period. So that gives you that gives you encouragement to know, well, there's people with special talent, and one never know. And sometimes you don't go around say, I did this, I do that. But some people know it, and some people don't share it. But you just got to keep on doing what you do best and hope for the best.
You said a key word there. Some people don't share it. Some people hate to share.
Telling you.
And if you have a good talent, why not share it?
You have to share it. You have to share it for sure. Because it will just stay,
Yeah. It's amazing, though, because when you look at the steel pan, it's made out of an old oil drum. And it was Trinidadian who invented that. Look at it today. It's all over the world.
Right, in Trinidad having the catching the royal with that because everybody else is promoting it too as well. And if they're not holding it by the horn, I mean, they have some guys making some pans in the United States of America. And to us, it's like a black guy have to make this. A black guy is the one supposed to be making the steel pan, but ain't like that today. They have these white guys, they have it down packed. They have, talking about players, you have people from Japan, China. They're playing this thing just like if like the Caribbean people. And I always used to tell the Trinidadians that, I mean, in a conversation, and I say, you guys believe because you're Trinidad that only Trinidad will play. I said, but this is an instrument, so if people practicing it every day, they'll be one ultimately will look like, the better players, not so much that they're better, but they're just the time they spend with it and they take it serious rather than us maybe just want to do it once or twice a year, And yes, They got to keep on. So, and poof, that's what I see. But I just say like, and for St. Martin, well, we do a lot of tours in terms of people will come off of the cruise ship and they will take a little class with us, and they love it. And I said, wow, these are the things we should be promoting all the time.
So they come to your place, so
They come, yeah, and they take a class, and they love it, yeah.
yeah, it's such a unique instrument. It's incredible.
Definitely.
And I know your father was one of the guys who really mastered the tuning of that. 'Cause
Yes.
to play this one thing, but to tune the
That's the next.
that is incredible.
And he have been giving me some classes how to tune, and I still a long way from there, but I can handle myself a little bit, and I thank him for that. And this is the next thing too, as you say, sharing. But we got to get our people. You see what the people in authority, people in a certain position, they can make things happen in terms of leading the way. Leading the way where you know your country can have. If that's an important thing, let's get some youngsters into class to study that. But people sometimes they don't see the importance, or they neglect the importance, or they ignore, because it's not them. They don't show that interest.
Let me ask you this though. You ever thought you'll be doing this today? Not the calypso part thing, but the part working with children.
Well, from small, I know I always have this passion of sharing. But if one would told me that you'll be a school teacher, you'll be teaching this band for thing, I don't know what I would say. But then again, it's fair to say that from the time I'm small, I'm always teaching somebody. Always passing on what I learned, I know I love music. I got this urge more for it because I went up the other day there with Funk Gomes and Bobo and Georgie and Calvin and Nisbet, who sings. And I took the bass guitar up, and I said, guys, I'm going to play some on the bass guitar because that's who, in school, that's who do I wear. And I would jump on the piano, jump on anything. I love to play, I love to perform. And I miss that. I mean, I'm performing with a steel band, but I miss that part. Like, I don't want to be an all-rounder, but I want to play some bass. I want to do some keyboards. I want to show. And I think that also can encourage somebody else, like, hey, once you're using it correct, you're using it to just show off. Using it like you're showing, like, I have the ability to do this. If you have the ability to do something, just do it, and be happy with yourself. Yeah.
When you entered the village to sing your first song, what year that was?
Wow, 1980.
1980?
1980.
It was a long time ago.
1980, I think.
You remember what song?
I can't remember the song, but I remember in 81 and in 1981. I think I went in first,
81?
And then in 82 and 83 I won the road march already.
But I've said this to you many times. I remember hearing you for the first time in the village on PGD2 radio. Listen to it. In those days, you used to carry it on the radio.
Yeah, yes.
And I said to myself, wow, this guy is good. First time out.
Yeah. But I used to catch my royal sometimes, but brave and just out there, So I don't even care if you're singing key out the key. I just want to be on stage, But boy, life is something as experiences.
So you and Bobo almost the same time?
No, Bobo started in 79, a couple years before I did.
Oh, okay.
I think he was in 79. So 79, 83 years after I started.
So life experiences for you has been what, really?
You mean for Calypso?
Because you were just saying you were going into that and I accidentally...
Yeah, like I just went into bravery, and I was I think I was like 17 years at the time. There wasn't no junior Calypso show, so I had to go up against these guys, and I said, but following Bobo, actually, because he was the drummer of my father's steel band.
Oh, okay.
So we were the two youngest in the band.
Yeah.
So I said, well, he could do that too, And then that's the way it all started. But then when I won the road match 82, 83, it took like 84, 85. I was like, I ain't winning the Calypso, I ain't winning that. So I said, you know what? I'm going to make a song And none of them can touch it. So that would make St. Martin rumba. They say, be careful what you prefer. I tell my brothers, listen, I gonna make a song that none of them can touch. Then I went to Genius because I used to hear Genius when he releases songs. He's sounding good and he have good music. I said, Genius, will you get a song? He tell me why there's a guy named Leston Paul. He's a good Trinidad here. So I took that number and I was in Trinidad. I was in Trinidad in 1986. Yeah, I went down. And I said, Leston, I have this song. And that was the Rumba first song recorded internationally. Big hit.
Yeah, biggest hit ever.
I'm telling you, still.
Completely the biggest, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And when I think back, you know, it's like really what you have here
Yeah.
is what's gonna determine what gonna happen out there. But when you flip flopping with it,
It's
flip
like-
flopping, you turn a flip flopper, you know. But when you have it here and you know this, because when I think back then, I mean, then we had all this electronic thing and this easy access to do stuff. You have to travel and record. But, you know, we had a tape and the cassettes. And I used to be down in the bush there in Middle Region under the tree with a guitar with two strings, you know.
But you know, St. Martin Rumba, I remember, and I told you this before too, I was in the Dominican Republic. Turned the TV on in my hotel room, and this guy comes on singing St. Martin Rumba from Colombia. It is?
Venezuela.
Venezuela? Oh, okay.
Ah.
That song was all over, man.
Yeah.
And there were some issues I think you had with that.
Yes, royalties.
All that was resolved.
It resolved after, yes. So the royalties, I get my fair share of royalties on that comes to me. But man, that song was, and it's still, last night, performing at the Bel Air Beach Hotel, I just decided, I said, you know what? I play some steel pan music. I said, I'm gonna mix up some songs from the Caribbean. I said, but the last segment, I'm only giving them the Mighty Dow songs. That was the best thing I did.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I did. These people dance. They even went like a half an hour over the time. Like,
Really?
but it was just local. It was just
Got them going, man.
what? No, but the fact is, what I'm trying to say here, it was only the original songs.
Yeah.
And they dance and song after song. I had to repeat like two of them after half an hour. So this goes to show that people want something unique. They want to hear you. They don't want to hear you play something else. Not that you know, playing somebody else's song is bad because you want someone to play your song. But what I'm saying is you have your own original songs. Push it.
In case you've just joined us, I'm Earl Gibbs here on Earl Gibbs Live with the man himself, the mighty Dow Isidore York. He's traveled all over the world. He's renowned St. Calypsonian. When we come back, we'll continue to speak with him right here on Earl Gibbs Live. Please stay with us.
Hey, don't guess about your insurance. Be sure that you're covered. Like with your car. Like your home. Be sure to be covered in case of a fire, flood, hurricane, or some other natural disaster. And travel insurance. Because you never know what could happen when you're on vacation. You could lose your passport, your luggage, or have an accident. So be sure that you're covered.
Insure yourself fast and easy with Be Sure from the Windward Islands Bank Limited. Visit your preferred WIB branch, WIB Insurance Services, or BeSureStMartin.com. Get your Be Sure insurance at the Windward Islands Bank, your partners in progress.
For real? Somebody came in here and steal my curtains? Well, it's a good thing I'm insured with Be Sure. Because even the contents of my apartment are covered. Don't play guessing games with your insurance. Be sure.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
You're watching Earl Gibbs Live. I'm here with, or you're listening to us on Hot 99.9 FM radio, or you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, TV Caribbean. And my guest is the one and only Mighty Dow. You know, when you look at Calypso, right? I mean, I've said this to a few Calypsonians recently. For me, Sparrow is just, I mean, it's just the greatest when it comes to Calypso. The other guy from, this guy, Soca, what's his name again? Arrow.
Arrow?
Yeah, I had Arrow on this show many years ago. And I think when it comes to Soca with Hot, 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 you can't beat him. That's universally the greatest song to come out of the region.
Right.
But you, as one of our top Calypsonians here from St. Martin, top entertainers actually, how you feel about the Caribbean music, Soca, Calypso? Who you see as really the great ones?
Man, listen, I think that we have so many talents here. And you mentioned Sparrow, who's his personality on stage, he's like a all-rounder.
Yes,
Sparrows like
yeah.
have everything.
Yeah.
Everything. He have road match name, he have soca monarch name, he have calypso name. He's just that talented. But when you look at people like Short Shirt from Antigua, I look at Short Shirt as a Bob Marley of calypso. Yeah, with lyrical content,
Oh, yeah.
his melodies, his messages. So Short Shirt is up there for me as a calypsonian. Then you had Swallow, also from Antigua, but different type of artist. He like a lot of soca and party music versus the Short Shirt with a message, direct
Yeah.
message, and nice music movement. The music movement was what grabs me for that. But going back Trinidad, I guess because they have tents too, they're not the only one, but Trinidad, they started that art form to the fullest, and line for line. They ain't overdo, they ain't missing nothing with that. But in the world, there's so many talent. Maybe some people you don't unheard of, but when you go to these different islands, there's so much talent.
What do you think of Shadow?
Shadow was a phenomenal. He was something by himself. Everybody have this own thing. He portrayed that image. He portrayed like, what I mean? He's like from a different dimension.
I had
Yeah.
I had Fish on the show, and Fish was make a reference to the bass man.
Mm-hmm.
I said, boy, I gotta get this song. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And all of the songs that he's done.
Shadow sings so many songs that
He's from Trinidad, right?
yes, Shadow sings so many songs that it puts you to think, and nice melodies. Some out there, some in there, but I remember he had a song, "Don't kill me slowly, then say you're sorry," and he said, and then he had this song, "If I coulda, woulda, I shoulda." He said, like people always talk about that, I coulda this, I shoulda that. I coulda that. He said, well, if you coulda, you woulda, and if you woulda, you shoulda. You know what I mean? If you shoulda, you woulda. He said, we always talk about after the fact, He said, I remember that song. He said, for example, he said the fella in the ring, and the man hit him a box and knock him down, And Sarah before he stay down and get conked out, he come back up by, I should have this, I should have that. So there's a lot of calypsonians too, man. A lot of.
What do you think about Pepper Soup?
Who's Pepper Soup
Pepper
again?
Soup is a new one. We are playing it on Hot 99.9.
Pepper from here, you mean?
None of the song named Pepper Soup.
Oh,
if you
oh.
go to Liberia, it's Pepper Soup.
Oh,
You
yeah.
gotta listen to that one.
I gotta
check
get
it
you.
out.
Yeah.
In fact, later on I'll play for you on the radio.
Good.
Yeah, it's amazing because now that we have 99.9 FM radio, and I am not a calypso lover,
Right.
I must admit, but I've started to listen
Listen.
to the songs that we are playing, and people making comments to me. This one Pepper Soup, it was being played on the station. I didn't pay it any mind until two people sent me WhatsApp message. Yo, you got Pepper Soup there? And I started to say, hey,
Well, who is Pepper Soup from which country?
That's Calypso Rose
Oh, okay,
singing
cool.
Pepper Soup. If you go to Liberia, they Pepper Soup. But it's amazing. It has a double meaning. to it.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting. Yeah. So when you look at St. Martin now, there are guys like yourself and a lot of others. I think St. Martin has become the best island after Trinidad and Antigua when it comes to calypsonians.
Yeah, you think so?
I think so.
No.
No, I'm from St. Martin. I may be wrong.
No, St. Martin have it unique, be different, but I have a lot of respect for Antigua and St. Vincent and with the calypso, especially soca too. They're doing good. Grenada too. And I haven't been Grenada. I hope to visit there sometime. I've never been to Grenada. I think I keep hopping over that island, boy. But, you talk about calypso, it's just St. Martin. Last night, again, I tell you, I wasn't doing original song. I had the whole entire, the visitors, the guests of the hotel singing, St. Martin, I see you. Had them really taking part in singing that. And then there was a next song Because I just decided to do Almighty Thou at the end of the show, at the end of the performance, and it worked. And I did a song called Little Nation, tell them what this little nation have done so much for so much people, and they really listen. They love that. That give them a break from hearing the same thing over and over again. They're hearing unique stuff. So I hope this will be an encouragement to the other artists over there and the younger ones to knowing, like, listen, don't give up on doing your thing, you know.
But see, now I'm going to tell you why I said what I said, although a lot of people may not agree with me. Trinidad, Antigua, and St. Martin. And the reason why I say St. Martin, we have a very short history in this compared to those other English islands. All right, so go back to 1970 something. We were horrible.
Yeah,
I mean, I hated to listen to Calypso on the radio. It was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Today now,
It's a difference.
man, we got world-class Calypsonians right here from St. Martin in a very short period of time.
But you're right, because you just reminded me of something. My son, Young Dow, he went to St. Kitts for 3 years, and he beat everybody over there for 3 years. Now, why? How did that happen? Because his dad, myself, I was traveling out all the time, and I know what Trinidad is. I know what the British countries look like. They have this. They use the English a lot. They're more sophisticated in that area, and more
Writing
advanced.
skills and all, yeah.
The writing skills. So I listened to them. Good boy. So when it comes to him to represent, I told my fellow Calypsonians, I would go to them and say, what song you think he should go with? Every one of them chose the song, and I went against it. So they were like, but when you come ask us for if you going to choose this song? But I know I started to scratch my head. I said, but if I go down there and my son don't do good, of course I don't know if he's going to win. But I said, no. I said he going with this song, Mother Caribbean. It was a St. Martin song, so we're going to just change the name, Mother Caribbean. And they wanted him to go with The Youths Are Crying, because he had just won the crown here with that. Boy, and I pray and I pray and I pray. The boy, when we went up St. Kitts, the man win. So when I came back with him the following year, so what you think was it? They said, you know what you're doing, so you don't come back here with that. My son won 3 years straight. And then I remember coming from one of the Antiguans, and the first year when we went, he had this kind of thing, you know, he's shy and the practice session, it don't look like it's going good for him. So they're thinking, boy, St. Martin out with this thing. The night when he performed, boy, I remember one asked me, he said, "No, that the same boy? That the same boy from..." Nah, you fool are we, man. That the same boy? Cause he felt sick during the rehearsal. They couldn't believe that as my son on the stage, boy. And St. Kitts love him. St. Kitts love good performance. And he went and he beat them beat them 3 times.
Yeah.
So again, too, people have to be paying attention to what's happening around you. And then that remind me, so I understand what you're saying, because nobody would think that's because they don't see St. Martin as a Calypso island. You know, they see St. Martin as something else, but we have Calypso here.
We have a lot. Look, we've been playing a lot of music from Genius. People are surprised. They didn't know Genius was that good, had all that music.
Yeah.
Timo, a lot of music
Yeah.
from Timo. People love it. Jacko, you, Tempo, and go on and on.
Mm-hmm.
Some I can't get. I still waiting on your songs, Bobo. You promised me I ain't get them yet. But
Who's that?
Bobo.
Oh.
But you know, so a lot of different men, and they're great, really, really good.
Yep. You have the talent. I mean, and you call it genius. I mean, I tip my hat off to him, because he's the one I say was the forerunner in getting recording, man. He went for the best. You know, and then you had Mighty Greg, you remember too.
Right.
It had a time.
We have been playing on the station here a lot.
It had a time that it was me and Bobo recording, then me and Greg, then me and Timo. Everybody keep like falling out, you know. But yeah. So I live music, yeah. So I will see different than maybe a Brad, because he's not 100% in music. He does different things. So I understand that too. But boy, this field you got to keep pushing.
But you mentioned Mighty Greg, and Greg was on this show many years ago before he passed away. He brought me the CDs and everything else, and I said, look how good it was that Greg brought the CDs when he came on the interview with me, because now that I have a radio station, we could play it.
Yeah.
And people listen to, they can't believe it's Greg.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that that time it was so great.
Yeah.
And Cat, who passed away to Cat, was
Yes,
also very
yes,
good.
unique. These fellas was unique in their own style, you know.
So I think we produced so many for a small little 16 square mile, but not counting the other side, we count
Yeah.
the whole thing, you know. It's still small compared to Antigua, which is 3 times our size,
of
but
course.
Antigua is 108 square miles, you know, and St. Kitts and all them. But we're doing great though.
Definitely. We holding our fort.
Yeah. And
But we
got-
help a lot of others too, and sometimes, you know, some just be ungrateful, and they say, "Oh, it's
Yeah,
not
that's
happy,"
human nature,
but
man.
we done so much, and people could, you know, people talk about. People say they come here, then they leave, and they say, "But I believe you have to come back," you know. So that if you go like, "Okay, where you leave for the
Yeah.
first place," you know.
So the soca music, so you're more a soca man, you say now, than a calypso man? Or
Well-
what's the difference between a soca and a calypso?
Well, the tempo, and you have the calypso will be more, you know, you bring in a message
Yeah.
across. The lyrics will be different, but I would say I love dance music, so I'm more like a soca kind of type,
Oh.
crossover kind of guy. I'm not the hardcore calypso. You know? I became that over the years, but my love was always party music, like the rumba, soca salsa, and I love the party, you know. And if I do my calypso songs, the most of them is always up tempo. I pay very keen attention to what chord structure, melody that I'm using. You know, I just love that.
You sound like Timo, man.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
you know, just want, you know, be different.
No, I had Timo when he was speaking about his passion
Yeah,
for the music and making sure everything is right. You know what I mean?
yeah.
You remind me of him a lot. In that.
Yeah, that's true.
You ever thought about getting all you guys together, all of you, man, and just put on a hell of a show with everybody?
I was thinking about that too. That would be a great hit.
'Cause we got a lot of good guys. Brad, I don't know what Brad is doing. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
But Brad was considered one of our great guys when it came to lyrics. Huh?
Yeah. Of course, he had his way, man. I couldn't stop him with that. He still got it. But again, I don't know. Occupy elsewhere, because I see he's doing his taxing thing now.
Okay.
But I think we can do that, and then that will ease the tension too, because people.
You think there's still
They-
tension?
Yeah, like competition.
No.
No,
Oh, okay.
because we always seen everything as competition.
Nothing wrong with that.
And no, but I'm saying that, you know, ease the competition. Let's have some more concerts, some shows, and that could ease that thing. Like, we don't always have to say like we competing against each other, rather than we work together. You know.
Seeing that you travel a lot performing, what country or city left the biggest impact on you?
Colombia.
Colombia? Really? Why?
Wow, that St. Martin Rumba, Colombia was like 200,000 people.
Wow.
200,000 people strong. The first night was 50, and then the second night they doubled that, like 100, and the last night was like 250. But
It's a huge stadium.
yeah, they took us to the like a outdoor area, and I remember that evening they told me, when they saw now that my performance now matched the song,
Yeah.
they were like, we can't bring you on too early. We can't bring you up. So they bring me in that place where we went, they had no lights. It was like on the beach side.
Yeah.
So they tell me, okay, you're going on now, but don't keep it too long. What? They can't get me off of the stage, and the people don't want me to come off the stage. You know how many times I walk off the stage, they tell me, okay, go back on for 5 more minutes. But then when I went on, I remember the promoter begging me on his knees. He said, please stop. The people they're getting on too bad out there. Stop. But I laughed so much.
Because I saw the real man.
Yeah.
The guy
They-
from Venezuela who was.
No.
singing.
Listen, but it was getting on bad.
Was it surprised to see that you was a different color?
I don't know, because these people love music, you know. I don't think.
You really
color-
asked the question because everyone in those days, when they heard the song, they saw this guy from Venezuela.
Right, true.
Doesn't look like you.
Right.
So that's why I asked.
But
the
I don't
question.
think they care about it. I didn't care. I don't think they remember that. They come to party here, right? No, then the guys who promoted me, man, they did a fantastic job, because every other lamppost you will see my poster.
Oh, okay, but then
Benvenido Mighty
though.
Doe. So they worked that in. There was this Filito Records. There were my promoters down there that had caps,
they were seeing the
postcards.
picture of you.
So they're seeing the picture of me
okay.
straight, you know. And then, but the guy told me plain he was trying to see, they just wanted to see me perform now, to see if I could merge that marketing.
Yeah.
When this after the first night, well, that was it. But they started to take me other places, interviews, restaurants. I walking with 2 bodyguards all the time. Boy, that was it. That was quite the experience for me, you know.
It's amazing, you know, because you never think, I never thought that song would turn out like that when you.
Yeah. But you know, I'm getting some good feedback from the Africans too.
Yeah.
And it's almost like they're telling you like, hey, you're my brother, man. Come back home. Come home and bring what you have. And then they start to make some references to the music that I gave. They say, look, you on this same level with this guy.
Yeah.
You say you on the same level with this guy. You're thinking your thing. So it's me, you know. So I want to do that.
I was surprised one time I was listening to some music and all this like Kassab and so forth. And when you got the guys in Africa, same thing.
I'm telling you, what the guys in Africa run everything. I say it's payback time. No, they guys some easy. That's, you know, it's so amazing.
The music is in us, man.
Yeah, all the time. You know, it's just that the world, the system, you know, could switch so many things, make you see it this way when it's supposed to be that way. And if you're not intelligent enough or you don't get involved in different discussions and you just stay on this path and think that that's the way, they don't have you off track.
Yeah.
If you be able to get back on track, you know, you catch them. I always say, look how the Africans are today shining. I just call it, I say, man, payback time, you know?
No, it's amazing because music goes beyond race and everything.
Definitely.
Else, you know, you listen to Bob Marley singing about Rhodesia and Zimbabwe back in the 70s and apartheid. And white people was buying the music
Of
and
course.
listening to it.
The truth is the
truth.
You can't hide the truth. The truth is
Yeah.
the truth, you know?
So it's so what next for the Mighty Dough? I mean,
More music. More music, more performances. I want to make these 2 to 3 years of my life, right? Performances straight. Heavy duty performances, not just like, you do something, but I'm on my way there.
Are you nervous before you go to perform?
Sometimes.
Still?
Sometimes. Less than before. But sometimes, depends, you know, how prepared you are.
Yeah.
Especially for Calypso. But for regular shows, nah. For Calypso, it's always tension because you have to remember the lyrics and you have to do that. Or if you make a mistake and if you do this, you know. But performance, always ready.
How you see people view you now? You know, it's a little tricky question in a way. You know, you've been around for quite a while now. When you walk the street, back street, front street, describe how people view you today compared to 20 years ago.
Wow. Well, 20 years ago, you know, you're younger. So you get I think the people today do it with more respect. Like they know the good works you do. Say, hey, Mighty Dough, Sir Dough, you know, how you doing? You know, long time ago they would just flock by you. Hey, what's going on, man? Because you're younger and you're out there.
Advice.
Yeah?
Or trying to give you advice.
Yeah, trying to give me advice or something, you know. But today they have that respect, like, Mighty Dough, what happening, you know. And sometimes when you're in your mood and you're thinking that nobody paying attention, you hear this voice from someone, hey, Dough, man, good show. And then sometimes they're always congratulating you.
Yeah.
And then you're saying, but what are they? So I just say, hey, thank you, you know, because you never know what they're congratulating you for. You're unaware of what you did last that they're paying attention to. But I think now that the younger generation, I might have been slipping away a little bit because I still involved with a lot of younger ones. But I think in terms of music and production now, I have to come back to them and say, hey, this is who I am. So that's what I'm doing now with on my Facebook page and Instagram. I'm using that now to go in hard at promotion, to marketing again. And I see it working. Because sometimes I was like, I don't need to be on Instagram, do that. Well, today you need to be on it. And I seen the followers now becoming more. Like I on the foundation page, I seen like 11,000 start to climb. and I just started to use Instagram like maybe like a month ago. For me, like my personal Instagram, and I have 5,000 followers already. So I say, this telling me something. So I think by the end of the year, maybe 1 million or something viewers, followers.
How you feel about computers and music now compared to when you started? There was very little computerization of music.
Well, it's just the new trend, you know. It's a new era in music, but if you have to study where and how you can make it efficient for yourself, like make it work for yourself. We can't run from it because it's there. But I think it's also nice that, you know, I don't really have to travel to Colombia to do a track. I can send it via mail, and they can do their part and then send it back before it's completed. You know, it have its ups and it have its downs. Though I'm a person, I love to be there live on the session when it's happening. Like you put down the drums, you know, I want to be there in person, but you can't be there in person. And then again too, you have Zoom, you have so many different outlets that you can see what the guy doing. You know, it's just not there, but they try to make it as live as possible for you. So it is a challenge, but nothing beat live still. Nothing beat the live thing. I think what helps a lot of musicians that you could use these platform and these gadgets for accompanying. You know, you can play back on it. If I don't know a song, I can easily go on YouTube, download the karaoke version and play on top of it, and it's still good. You know, so it have its ups and have its downs.
What's your favorite Caribbean island that you perform?
Wow. Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. I didn't expect that at all.
Puerto Rico.
Really?
I performed. Yeah, that was. Puerto Rico was big. It was. I mean, again, the Latin countries have treated me well. You know.
Okay.
Boy, Puerto Rico was big. It did everything. Puerto Ricans, they just get me. Yeah.
I'm surprised. I was waiting for one of those English islands.
Yeah, no, Puerto Rico was it. The English islands, you know, I had some good times too, but Aruba was good too. Aruba, Curacao, they'll be next. Curacao and Aruba.
But Puerto Rico number one.
Curacao, huh?
But Puerto Rico is number
Puerto Rico 1, I would say Curacao 2, and Aruba 3. Yeah, Puerto Rico was big.
How did you do in Trinidad?
Trinidad is. I think now I'm building. I'm building back that path to a concert because we're talking about it, and then on radio interviews down there, you know, I'm telling them, hey, we need a concert, so everybody up. Yeah, so, but I have to do a collaboration. I mean, I'll collaborate with somebody down there to get that concert going. Like, whether there's going to be a mash, there'll be a guest on it or something like that, and so. Yeah, that's the way I have to move with Trinidad, to get somebody in there and have artists from themselves on that show that night.
It's interesting you say that because all the local calypsonians that I speak with, when it comes to Trinidad, they're not too excited about it.
No, because Trinidad, you know, they cater a lot for themselves. You know, they push themselves. It's nothing it's nothing hidden. You know, they push themselves. Can you blame them for it? No. Yeah, but we know to say when we do it, we thinking, oh, the others will say like, oh, you're selfish, you're this, you're that. But we got to push ourselves. That's why I say, you know, to have roads, you have paths to walk, because they're very, I would word is selfish. It's too strong of a word, but they're very into themselves, you know. And that's just the way it is.
No, we spoke about this. What I'm going to tell you now. A few years ago, you're the 2023 Calypso round winner, Simon, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you come into the airport, they should have a huge poster, huge, of you there.
You know, one time I said to one of the directors of the airport, I said, listen, why don't you put up something saying Baila Me Rumba, St. Martin Rumba, also known as this in the Latin countries, the biggest hit of St. Martin. The director asked me, so what are you going to tell Bobo then? So what are you going I say, but it's not that. Bobo himself will be happy for that, because the hit, sad to say, not sad to say, the hit was with Dow. The hit is St. Martin Rumba. These people, you have to be proud of that. But we people just take a lot of things, a bunch of politics. It's funny. Have I been from Curacao South? You crazy? They're making that known, boy. This is our boy here.
No, the reason why I said, look,
But you're right.
you have Genius, who is considered the real father of the Rumors Martin, and it's known internationally. But the single most biggest hit from St. Martin came from you.
Yeah.
Let's be fair about that. And I like Genius, one of my favorites too. And I think we need to honor all the Calypsonians, but
Someone,
yeah, you know, you're there, and nothing wrong with that. You go to St. Kitts and you walk at the airport, and that guy from St. Kitts won the Olympic, huge picture of him.
that's what I'm
at the
saying.
airport.
But what I'm saying is, this is life. This is not going to send, well, unless there's a bigger hit coming sometime, but this is your first biggest hit.
Yeah.
Bigger. Look, we had good songs from Lino, my friend, and not, but St. Martin Rumba stood out. So this should be, you should have this nail into your walls. Like when people come, they feel like, this is the guy for us, you know what I mean? But hey,
Well, no, boy, it's perfect. Some
we got to
things
keep pushing
never change,
that.
right?
I got to keep pushing that.
It's always a pleasure having you. I have about 40 seconds remaining. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just want to tell the folks, always appreciate their support. Anything Dawes Musical Foundation, and we put out a lot of programs out there. We appreciate the assistance and help and the support, and we can't do it without their support. And then I also want to tell people, look out, because you're gonna be getting more music on different levels, left, right, center. Trust me. Yeah.
Want to thank you, though. Wish you
Problem.
much success, all right?
Thank you.
And that's it for now here on Oral Gibbs Live on Hot 99.9 FM radio station. See you or hear you next time. Take care. Bye.